There he is.
There he is, Aaron.
What's up, fellas?
He's got his purple hat on. You can't see. I got the shirt on underneath this thing. We were just talking about the Eagles and Marcus Hayes' piece where he said that he would bench Jalen Hurts. You agree with that?
No, I would. I mean, what's the point? What are we going to see with Joe Flacco? And all due respect to Gardner Minshew, I love the style. I love his flair and his swag.
Right.
He's a backup quarterback, and good for him. He'll play 10 years and he won't get beat up. We're not learning anything from either one of those two guys. You have nothing to lose. If you thought this was a playoff team, you haven't seen the Cowboys because they're running away with it. All right.
I just said that.
People don't want to realize that.
No, I know
actually good.
Say it. I get it, but you got to let them play. Now, the problem you have here is how much of it is Hurts just isn't the guy, or the coach is completely, completely incompetent. And it's probably both, right? I mean, I think Hurts is going to fit in the Minshew category, being a great backup for 10, 12 years.
Right.
Awesome attitude. Everybody loves him, the whole thing. But really, intangibles don't cut it. You got to be able to throw the football. Is he helped by the fact that they don't run it and Jalen Reagor's not a #1 overall pick, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah.
No, he's not helped by that. But to bench him, what do you do? I mean, this is all about find out about the coach, find out about the quarterback. And at the end of the year, if you decide that neither one of them are good enough, move on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have a guy, how many Super Bowls have been won by quarterbacks that weren't blowing everybody off the water? The Ravens won a Super Bowl that way.
With Flacco.
I mean, come on, man. With Flacco, yeah.
And the other one they won.
Brett Dilfer.
Yeah, Dilfer.
The Eagles won one the same way.
Yeah. Tampa won theirs with Brad Johnson.
Right.
Way back in the day.
So come on,
that's
man.
a long time ago. The league has changed.
Yeah, the problem is, though, it's so easy to just go quarterback and not pay attention to all the other stuff. It's easier to do as a fan because you don't want to admit about all the other shortcomings, right? And I think that's a big piece of this thing too. They're not a very good football team in general. And I know, people want to say, well, look, they only lost to the real kind of big boy type of teams. Okay. We're going to find out about that as the schedule goes on here with some of these other teams. It's not going to be Kansas City and, Tampa, et cetera, but they're a mediocre to less than mediocre football team, period. And it's not just the quarterback.
And you're absolutely right about that. Look at defensive. We have the worst linebackers in the league. You say what you want to say. I mean, I love Alex. I love him, man.
Singleton,
but he's not an impact. He's not an impact linebacker. What I'm saying is he'll average 11, 12 tackles a game. But if these tackles aren't made 3 yards before, 3 yards after the line of scrimmage, what I call impact tackle, then that's all for naught.
Somebody's got to make the tackle.
Yeah, if you're tackling a guy 8 yards down the field,
right.
So what?
Hey, Derek, let's talk about the defensive ends for a minute. Josh Sweat got paid. Where's he been?
Right.
Derek Barnett makes a boatload. We know where he's getting back, right? Ryan Kerrigan, I can contribute more to the team than Ryan.
He's got one stat.
Yeah, he's got one tackle, which he lucked out.
He was just happened to be there, and the guy ran right into him behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and look, I know losing Brandon Graham was big, but come on, man. Like, this is next man up territory, and where are they?
Yeah.
Where are these guys stepping up?
The only guy's balling is Hargrave.
He's been great. Yeah.
And it for the first look, if you sit down and watch that Tampa Bay game again, and not Tampa Bay game, you watch the last game they just played, and you watch one-on-one block. When have I ever seen Fletcher Cox get blocked one-on-one?
Yep.
I saw it all last game in the first half. Second half, he came out like bonkers because his counterpart Hargrave started balling out. So once his counterpart started, I better get on my horse too and go make some plays. Then he started doing it. Come on, man. I need more out of my guy. I know he's one of the best tackles in the league when he wants to be. Yeah. When he wants to be. Look, I never think you could block him one-on-one, ever.
You're right, and maybe it's just time's catching up to him, or I don't know what the situation is with him, but he's definitely not an impact player anymore. He's a starter, but by far the guy you got a game plan for is Hargrave. And the shame of it is the secondary's played pretty decent for the most part.
Yes.
But what you're getting from the front seven is not acceptable. And a lot of this also, I think, has to do with the way they're being coordinated. Look, I think this team's being coached very poorly on both sides of the ball, frankly.
Mhm.
And
I don't know.
we killed Schwartz for how soft he played and his sticks defense.
Wow, this is soft.
This is like Jim
Soft
Schwartz
shirt.
on
Yeah.
crack.
Did you see that first
Yeah.
drive against Tampa on Thursday night? It was just like, it was like 9-on-7.
Well, and Brady will, hey, you want to give me that? I'll bleed
Yeah.
you to death.
I'll take it
Yes.
all the way down the field. Yep.
Right. So the book's out. Like if we don't see, you got a little mini bye here, right? You get 10 days off and good. Like some guys heal up, etc. But this is where you're going to really see it from the coaches. What adjustments, when you had a little bit of extra time, are going to be made going into this game against Vegas? And if you see the same crap where they don't run it and it's RPO city and wide receiver screens and defense playing soft and not playing with a set where you're going to blitz every once in a
That's
while.
tanking to me.
Yeah, it's tantamount to like it's malpractice what you're getting from these guys, because while they aren't a really good team, your coaching is like pouring salt in the wound here.
Yes.
You're not doing anything to make up for your shortcomings.
I know you chart the game, Rob, so you know firsthand, because I had to go back through the play.
You guys want to see it?
But I was yes, we do want to see it at some point.
One second.
The only legal pads that rival Ray Diddy are Robbie E's. Okay, because
Bro, he doesn't care.
play.
He doesn't care if they were playing Pop Warner football. If the Eagles were playing the Little Sisters of the Poor, he would still chart that game, bro.
No doubt. No doubt. Right. And I remember telling him, I said, Rob, you don't have to do this anymore. Like the NFL.com has it the next day. You can just like print it off. It's beautiful.
Right, here's an example. I don't know how well you guys can see.
Oh, yeah, we can see it. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, man.
This is what a maniac. I do this for preseason games.
I know. You're
right.
insane.
I didn't understand it, man.
Yeah.
Right. And then hurry up offenses, too. That takes a lot. I mean, you gotta scramble to get that play.
Kelly
in there.
used to kill me. My fingers would be bleeding trying to keep up with him. It was brutal.
But,
I mean,
but where I was going is firsthand, because you chart the game, their first down lack of production is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
I mean, whether they're running it or trying to throw it, they don't get anything on first down.
No,
Did you say it was like 11? They have second and 11. Like they average second and 11 every play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they went 3 and out 6 of 7 possessions in that game against Tampa.
That's remarkable, Harry.
Yeah.
And Barrett, you know this as an offensive lineman. When you're in 2nd and 11, 3rd and 9 every single time, it's death, because the defensive ends and the defense in general and the coordinators are frothing at the mouth because they are just teeing off. And they know you're not going to try and run the ball, man.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. You're steady backing up, and you can't get off the ball. You can't go out there and hit somebody in the mouth because they refuse to run them. To only have one called run play in the first half of the Tampa Bay game was it should have been against the law.
It does feel like Harry, you're right.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about this that
Feels
much.
like a tank.
It does. It feels like process Sixers where Tony Roten is your leading scorer. Like it feels like we're going to do everything we can to get the worst pick. Now, but like it doesn't make sense because you went out and made some moves in the offseason that would say we're not straight up trying to tank. I don't know, man. Like is this guy just taking the edict of we love passing offense and just like taking it to its Bible to him? And you can't mix anything up. I can't figure this out.
We know the owner likes passing off.
That's what I'm saying. Is it coming from above, and he is just taking it so to heart because he wants a job that he's taking it to the ultimate extreme? Which you're doing your quarterback no justice. You're giving
none whatsoever. None whatsoever.
And the crazy thing, I love having all these draft picks, but the quarterback draft next year is not really that great. Okay, let's be honest.
Exactly right, Harry.
I mean,
we'll be back in the same position we are in right now with a quarterback that's really not efficient enough to be a top quarterback in the league. We will not get a franchise quarterback next year.
Yeah, like there's guys I like. I like Sam Howell. I don't love them.
I don't love them.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I like the kid out of Mississippi, Corral.
Yeah.
I don't love him. And like, do I like him enough to gamble and take him as high? The brutal part is if Hurts was good, you could have helped yourself incredibly if you nailed even 2 out of 3 at other positions, because you're potentially going to have 2. I don't know. The Colts pick, we're going to see how that goes. They're starting to play a little bit better, but you could have 3 in the top 10, which is crazy.
All right, let's table this, take a quick timeout, come back. We'll do some more Eagles, but I got to get Rob's opinion on what has transpired over the last couple of days with Ben Simmons, because the people want to hear it. Short timeout.
I can't wait to get you fired up about that, bro.
We'll be back on the middle.